So we'll have extra violins, so here we go. In goes the violin. What I normally do is give the déclenche. Now the déclenche means cancel all the registers. So what we tend to do is to go déclenche first, and then we can then, because that clears the instrument of any residue registers from the previous book. So I think we'll bang the baritone on and we'll have the sax, because we want a fairly big sound to start off with. So there we have it. We've got the saxophone, baritone, violin. So leave the Glock out, and we've got our friend the déclenche to clear anything, and then we can then set up stuff anew. That then gives us, as it were, carte blanche. Okay, well, on we go. So, right. D, C, long, oh no we have, right. Now when you make a mistake, I've got to put those in the wrong place. This is quite useful actually to do this. I've put those in the wrong place because in fact it starts on the third beat of the bar and I've done it on the first. So silly me. So the thing is to have a pencil that's certainly HB, nice and soft as it were, but so it doesn't go down too quickly, and then the mistakes can be rubbed. You then use what I call a hard pencil for the lines, and this is a 2H, which is a very useful thing because you can then just sort of get nice thin lines. Right, okay, take two, on we go. I'm quite pleased about that because this is what happens when you're setting like this, and that's why it's really good to have just a stencil instead of putting it straight onto card, because it can muck the card up quite considerably. Right, A sharp. Now the thing is this, we've got a semiquaver. Now semiquavers are what? 1.5, so 7. If I use a 7, I just use a 7 cutter. I'll just put a mark where I want the note to go. There it is. And then we've got quite a few there. That's it. Seven there. After a while, you become quite au fait with putting, notes in the approximate position, and then when you're cutting it, you can square it up properly. Right, now we've got trouble coming up. Right, we've got this our old friend here. Now we've got a D sharp. Right. Now that's a pain in the backside because we need a D sharp in the bass. How do we deal with that? Well, if we look, there's nothing. The nearest D sharp is right up in the melody register, and we're going to need them up here later on. But if we look down into the counter subject, into the counter melody section, and we look down the bottom there, that's just about right where we need it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to copy this bit. As I said, if you look at it, it's in the octave, so absolutely ideal. So let's do that and see what happens. Right, D, C, D, C, A sharp, C, C together. I'm always doing this, I'm always singing bits and pieces because it helps you. Now, we haven't got an F there, but we can, that doesn't matter because the F, we've already covered it with the bass. So we've got a nice octave F here. There it goes. And then in it goes. Now this interesting little chromatic section here. So we've got the E. And rose hence teeth, D sharp. Then we go down, pum, 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 pum. Okay, there it is. Now let's put this bit in because we can do this. Boom. Boom. Dun 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 dun. 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 There we go. G. The bottom G. We haven't got one, so we'll come up. Again, covered there. And we'll leave an effort behind me because what I also need to do is now we can start to build in. So what I'm going to do is, right, we've got lots of ranks of pipes on. We've got the two reed ranks. It'd be really rather fun to have the bass trombones. So we'll put the bass trombones in, and there you have it. You know, and so it then goes on. I go on and on quietly, putting together the arrangement. So I'll just do this, and then the next time we meet will be on the cutting machine because this goes all the way through. You've seen how it's done, so we don't need to do much more with this, but we'll just do it with the bass trombones because they're always great fun. And then you begin to see how it's doing. Off we go again. D, C, A sharp. C, D, C, G, bottom F, clean that up a bit, there it is. Now E, oh hell, right, well the D sharp is now covered, and of course the thing is we've got the saxophone on there, so with the reeds there that'll help disguise it. And in fact the amount of times that you can do this, you sometimes run a scale or you run a note that's not there, and these are what I call ghost notes because the listener actually hears it because it's expected to be there, but it isn't. And if you've got something like as long as you've got some representation there, it just makes the whole thing much better. It's rather peculiar, but it does work. And in fact, if you listen to the toccata and fugue in D minor. That's one. Dun dun dun. There's one that a lot of ghost notes in there. because the organ ain't got them. But it's surprising how you can pull the wool over people's eyes. But that's the art of note-turning. This is setting. When you set a bass drum, oh yes, that might be quite an idea. We might actually just show you that, because that's slightly different. Now the drums, they have mousetrap motors. So the signal goes through from the key rises and sends the pulse off, and that collapses the motor. Now, unlike a pipe, this takes a little while longer, because you've got the conveyancing of the wind through the valve from the key, and then it's got to go on to fire another valve to collapse the mousetrap. So basically it's sort of doing two jobs. So what we do is that if we put the bass drum on the line as it should be, in theory, you've got the line there and you put the bass drum there. You can't, because what will happen is it'll be da 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 boom. So what we've got to do is we use the 5 center or the 5mm rule, and all percussion starts 5mm before the beat, and that way we get it right. It comes right as it should. So what I'm going to do is put some bass drums in, because I think that's quite fun as well. So what I've done here is, in fact, I will show you before I switch this lot off. Bomb, 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 crash to bomb, 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 crash, bomb, bomb. Right, I've just thought, we're looking at the bass drum, that the side drum likewise is very much like the bass drum, but we've got to make a different spacing. Now, if you want to get a side drum roll, you're going to have to work it 5mm at a time. Now, what we do is, for side drum, we've just got to do it this way. This is again even slightly more labour intensive, but again it does create the effect